The hospital room smelled faintly of antiseptic and fading hope. Machines hummed softly beside the bed where a woman who once commanded billion-dollar deals now lay completely still. Her eyes were open, aware, watching the world move around her without her. The doctors had already said the words that crushed everyone who heard them: she would never walk again. Within weeks, the powerful people who once surrounded her disappeared. Assistants stopped answering calls. Friends stopped visiting. Even some relatives quietly drifted away. And soon, the question nobody wanted to answer began echoing through the hallways of her luxurious mansion: who would take care of the paralyzed female billionaire now? If you believe kindness can appear from the most unexpected places, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, comment where you're watching from, and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Stories, for more emotional stories that remind us humanity still exists. Her name was Victoria Langston, a 42-year-old tech billionaire whose sharp mind and relentless ambition had built one of the most powerful companies in the country. For years, her life had been a blur of boardroom negotiations, private jets, and flashing cameras. She had been known as unstoppable, the woman who never lost a deal and never showed weakness. But everything changed one rainy night when her car spun off a slick highway and slammed into a concrete barrier. The accident didn't take her life, but it took something she never imagined losing: her independence. The damage to her spine left her paralyzed from the neck down. At first, the world pretended to care. Reporters camped outside the hospital. Executives sent flowers. Politicians issued statements wishing her recovery. But sympathy faded quickly once reality set in. Victoria needed constant care, someone willing to help her eat, bathe, turn in bed, and monitor her health around the clock. Many professional caregivers were hired, yet almost all of them quit within days. Some said the job was too difficult. Others quietly admitted they were intimidated by the responsibility of caring for such a famous figure. A few were simply frightened by the cold, silent mansion that now felt more like a monument to a fallen empire than a home. Weeks turned into months, and Victoria slowly realized a painful truth. The world had loved her power, not her humanity. When she could no longer command meetings or influence stock markets, she became a burden people avoided. Even some members of her own extended family argued about her assets more often than they asked about her health. The loneliness was suffocating. Though her mind remained sharp and aware, she could barely speak more than a few words at a time, and her body refused to respond to the commands she desperately sent. Her mansion sat on a hill overlooking the city skyline she once ruled, but now the towering windows only reflected emptiness. Caregivers came and went so often that Victoria stopped trying to remember their names. The staff whispered in hallways about how long this situation could continue. Some believed the company board would eventually force her out permanently and place her in a private medical facility far away from public attention. Then one ordinary afternoon, something unexpected happened. A young delivery man arrived at the mansion gate carrying several grocery boxes ordered by one of the house staff. His name was Daniel Rivera, a 28-year-old man who had spent most of his life struggling to survive. He worked long hours delivering packages across the city, often skipping meals just to send money back to his widowed mother. Life had never offered him comfort or luxury, but it had given him something far more powerful: quiet compassion. When Daniel entered the mansion, he immediately sensed the heavy silence that filled the halls. The housekeeper directed him to the kitchen, but as he passed a knock,